to you by Crystal Blue Sound Studios.
Also, Dynamics Productions.
This is Studio Life, and we are just that, in the studio. As the owner, here's your chance to make your pitch. People hear recording studio, and let's admit it, they get tense. They think lots of money, they think fancy equipment, they think Hall of Famers, icon superstars, not for me, not for the average Joe or Joan. But what do you say to that?
Well, recording's for anybody. I mean, you know, we have packages that basically will cater to any budget. You know, being in the business for the last 20 years, I've found ways to cut corners. So there's plenty of ways to make it financially, you know, possible for you to record in our studio. And there's no intimidation here. This is not serious business. We just have to basically enjoy what we do and just do it from your heart and soul. And it doesn't really matter what level you're at. It's really all that's important is how you're expressing yourself.
This is Studio Life. I'm Bruce Wozniak from Now Hear This. I invite you to visit www.now-hear-this.net. And I'm talking to Nick Pages from Crystal Blue Sound Studios near Tampa, Florida. Crystal Blue is on the internet at www.cbpro.net. Tell me a real memorable, hopefully for good reasons, a real memorable performance story of yours.
Performance story. Well, there's so many of them I wouldn't know where to begin. But I guess one of the most humbling was we were playing a big, you know, private party on at a big house in Boca Ciega. It was like an 8-car garage.
Which for the listeners, Boca Ciega is
Over in Pinellas County.
Geography.
Over some Pinellas County, just south of the Skyway Bridge. And when we get there, the people that were having the party said, hey, we're here, we're the band, where do you want us to play? And they pointed at the end of a dock. I looked down there, and the dock was maybe 6 foot wide, and it was a good 100 yards away from the party. I said, well, I don't think they're going to really be able to hear us there. They go, don't worry about it. Just get on out there and do your thing.
And bring an extension cord.
So we went out there and, precariously at night, rolling PA gear on 6 foot wide planks. Dum, 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 dum. And we set up, and, it's blatantly obvious that they just want to say they have a band. They could care less what we sound like. And we could actually hear Mullet jumping behind us during the show.
Wow.
It was Mullet jumping, and we wouldn't even go and fraternize with them. I think we sent Elliot, who was my nephew. He was the newest person in the band. We sent him up for food, and he came back and he said, I can't identify any of it. I mean, it was one of those parties where you just couldn't identify the food.
So if the performance was being recorded, there would be a credit on the CD for Mullet.
Yeah, that's a true story. Well, we've never forgot that one.
Similarly with your recording studio, a real shining moment, someone or some project you're really proud of that really stands out?
There's been quite a few of them. Probably the one that stands out the most was back in the Christmas of 2007. Alan Darcy was in with his jazz group, and he called me up sometime in September and said, oh, by the way, I want to do a Christmas CD this year. And I'm thinking, Alan, it's way too late to think about a Christmas CD in September. I mean, minimum is 3 months, 3 to 6 months on something like that. And well, he said, no, I think we can do it. And somehow or another, we went to work on it and completed it, mixed, master, tracked it, 9 weeks, a full Christmas CD, and it came out fantastic. It was just really, really a great sound we got, and it was a blast to make it. We were working till 2 in the morning and actually talking to him. He was staying in our guest room here, and we were actually talking to each other on the phone. We were so tired to get up one morning. That was pretty funny. I remember a message I sent to him saying, Alan, this is Nick. I'm conducting all my business from bed today, and I won't be at the session. So he knows about that one. When we interview him, he'll tell you his side of that story.
But a memorable project for Crystal Blue and for Alan.
Absolutely. It's a great disc.
Nick Page is owner of Crystal Blue Sound Studios near Tampa, Florida. Care to tell us some of your current projects inside or outside the studio?
Well, inside the studio, just completed a 10-song Christian salsa CD with John Silva. That is up for a national release. We finished mixing that about 3-4 weeks ago. And I'm also working with one of your artists, Melissa Bredhauer, and we're getting closer and closer to the completion of that project. We also have a project going on with a new artist named Shane Mead, who is a very interesting artist. He sounds like Bob Seger, but with Dave Matthews as a backing band, if you can figure that out. That's the ones that are really the big CDs right now that I'm working on.
And outside the studio, Crystal Blue, the band, rolls on, yes?
Yeah, we're still doing some gigs here and there. We plan on doing a showcase back in, we plan on doing a showcase in October at Music Showcase, where we're going to team up with a company, I Know Music, and present a concert for a appreciation of the arts here in Brandon. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, November Fest will be happening again, which I do every year here in Brandon, which is a festival, a 5-day festival.
And would that speak to Crystal Blue's service that you call remote mobile recording, or is that a slightly different service?
Well, it's funny you say that. At the showcase, we will be doing a mobile recording, multi-track recording, and we'll also be doing some video work at that particular show. And so that would be mobile.
And November Fest
is more of sound reinforcement. I don't do too much of that, but we do offer it.
This is Studio Life. I'm Bruce Wozniak from Now Hear This. I invite you to visit www.now-hear-this.net. And I'm talking to Nick Pages from Crystal Blue Sound Studios near Tampa, Florida. Crystal Blue is on the internet at www.cbpro.net. I suppose that I've come to know you well enough that I knew that your answers would be cerebral and not industry-laced. Let's close with something non-musical, something non-business related. Tell us about Nick Pages, the individual. You've really been a success personally over the last year or so. I've seen it. Others around you have certainly seen it. What are you doing when you're out there enjoying life and not at the studio or out playing a gig?
Well, I certainly like the outdoors. I like nature. I think it clears my mind and really, sets me off creatively. And I start every day with a walk, in the woods, and that seems to just set the tone. It's a great place to vision while you're walking, running into running into live animals and what have you. That's just a good way for me to start my day. Of course, I don't get enough sleep sometimes, but that's the trade-off, so it's worth it. So I think that's just appreciating life and recognizing that it's what you make of it. Whatever you want to track into your life, I think you have to become.
This has been Studio Life, and we've been coming to you from Crystal Blue Sound Studios near Tampa, Florida. I'm Bruce Wozniak from Now Hear This, and I invite you to visit www.now-hear-this.net. And you've been hearing conversation with Dominic Pages, the owner of Crystal Blue Sound Studios. Check out www.cbpro.net. Nick, thank you again.
Thank you.